you in a bit. Yes, hello, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, and welcome once again to the channel, to the show. Once again, another live show from in front of the cans and bottles here on the bar, or I'm still geographically calling the Disco Arms. And today we've got, as the title thumbnail and banner suggests, 3 New Zealand Pilsners, not admittedly from New Zealand, 3 UK brewed New Zealand style Pilsners. Of which I have to admit, I don't really know the difference between a New Zealand style Pilsner and any other, say, for example, a Czech style Pilsner, but we're to find out by the end of this one. Why today? Well, today apparently, or probably 12 hours ago, was Waitangi Day in New Zealand. More about that later, but let's get the first one out into the glass for beer number 1. Or indeed, beer number 1, please. So this one is from Lakes Brew Club. Oh, fuck. Oh. It's been one of them days. Lakes Brew Co. It's easy for you to say. I'm a bit late to the pass on today's show. Sorry about that. Looking a bit red as well. It's a bit cold out there, but yes. Rush cycling home after a late day at the brewery. Brewing a big milk stout today. So yeah, running a little bit late. Apologies for that. Hopefully now I've got my teeth in. We can get a beer into the glass. But yeah, no names on this one. It's just a new NZ Pilsner. It is, as I say, from Lakes Brew Co. up in the Lake District. Forgotten to put the percentage on the banner. Oh, I haven't. I just haven't put the right banner up yet. Oh, it's going well, this and that. Well, at least the beer's looking good. Pours into the glass with some lovely bubbly carbonation racing up the glass there. Looking good. Kind of straw-coloured, lemony straw-coloured colour to the naked eye. A bit more orange amber on camera. Mr. Wilson, as always, good afternoon. Thanks for popping in and doing the reminders. Good to see you. You're having a good week. It's progressing well. Nearly the weekend. Let me do the photo before I forget. As always, step off so I can do the photograph. Bashed up a few late reviews on Instagram this afternoon from the Christmas show a couple of weeks back. I was too busy after that show to do them, but that's definitely the end of the Christmas beers. It's definitely the new year now. And not only that, I actually did my first beer order this week of the new year. Got a few beers in. Well, I've got a couple of beer orders actually, but more about them a little bit later. Actually got some beers in this year. Not that I need any because I've already got loads. This is still the reason I'm still bashing through the stash doing these reviews. Mr. B, good afternoon to you all. I hope you're having a good week, and thanks for popping in. Checking out some New Zealand Pilsners today. Just as I said that, the old nose is clogged up, so I won't be doing any aroma. Let's get straight in and find out about this one. Cheers. Yeah, solid. It's got that kind of crisp Pilsner kind of taste. Very kind of light maltiness, but it's kind of in the background, and a kind of slightly kind of slightly kind of savoury kind of edge going on. I'm hoping to find out. It's difficult putting 3 Pilsners up against each other because I find them generally not samey, not in a bad way, but very little to pick out amongst these. But that one's got, there's a little bit of lemon coming through now as well. A touch of like touch of citrus, but it's light, but it's quite robust on the body. Some good lacing going on already, looks good. Let me know if anybody else has got a Thursday beer going on. I wasn't actually sure if this show was going on today because, like I say, I was late out the brewery today, but I'm not working tomorrow, so I can have a late beer. It's fine. Bash back 3 Pilsners. Should be good. Yeah, if anybody else has got a beer in a glass, do let me know what it is you're drinking. Yeah, the reason I'm doing this is because I haven't noticed the other day. I thought, well, I do a show on Thursday. That is, or was in New Zealand, a Waitangi Day, which is kind of their celebratory day, their kind of national day. Since I did Australia Day the other day. Hold on, here we go. The old thing playing up again. Oh, we're in. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, Waitangi Day, the signing of the treaty between the indigenous Maoris and the British. British have got a lot to answer for, as always, if we just overlook that colonialism stuff for a moment. So, yeah, everything kind of shuts down. February 6th in New Zealand to celebrate the day of signing the Treaty of Waitangi. Happened up in the very north of the North Island, a place I've actually been to. I was there 15 years ago, not actually at the treaty grounds. There a few months before. Waitangi Day in New Zealand is funny because I didn't even know anything about it really, and I walked out and everything was shut. I think apart from the pubs. So still a good day, but it was just a bit weird. Pretty much everything. It's like a bank holiday basically. Yeah, so I thought I'd mark it with some New Zealand style Pilsners, albeit British brewed. I haven't had a proper New Zealand beer for a long time. And it was a long time ago, so I can't actually remember particularly what I was drinking when I got there. Mr. Wilson's on that. Meantime, Anytime IPA is very average. That's meantime for you. Hey! Hello, Mersey Beers. Yeah, there's a bit of football going on today, apparently. Hopefully they get nice and knackered for Sunday. I know it'll probably be a different team, but there you go. Adam is drinking a Ramsbury Brewing. That sounds familiar. The head of the brewer is a bit of a knob. No, he's not. He's not. He's not. No, I was going to do something. Yeah, we all know who that is. I was going to say he's not a bit of a knob. He's the whole fucking knob. There you go. There you go. Somebody's got Harry's back. He is a good lad indeed. Cheers all. Yeah, so there's a bit of football going on Sunday, and Adam has said let's do a live stream. So he's put one up. I haven't checked that out yet. I'll go and check that out in a bit. And I may or may not just be doing it on this channel as well, doing a joint thing, or depending on what happens when I get there, because I'll be doing it from the brewery. And as far as I know, it'll all work out, but we'll work it out on the day. It'll be fine. It's only football, isn't it? But we'll have a few beers as well, hopefully. So I've got some beers in, including one from Liverpool. Just, got to show willing. You can probably guess what, or at least who it is at the moment. But yeah, that'll be up on Saturday from 2:30, kick off at 3 o'clock. The mighty Plymouth Argyle against the averagely mighty Liverpool, of course. Should be a good afternoon. This beer's been in my stash a little too long. Quelle surprise. Although I did sort of end up picking up other. I meant to pick up one other New Zealand Pilsner. I think I ended up picking up 2. So I've got other Pilsners in the stash. New Zealand style Pilsner. Crisp lager, dry hopped with Motueka hops. Motueka and Green Bullet. Nothing about Green Bullet springs to mind, but yeah, I know Motueka fairly well in an ale, but I get a little bit less so of it here. Um, ooh, bit of gas. I'm just trying to think where maybe that's that kind of citrusy note, a little bit of lime going on. Like I say, excellent lacing on the glass. Certainly goes down. I did have a sneaky beer before I left work, so I'm smashing this one down almost as a first beer fairly quickly. What's the general feeling on Pilsners? I always used to be like, oh, lager, innit? Then sort of craft lager, kind of craft breweries brewing lagers. I mean, I did find out 10 years ago, it was a bit of a revelation to find out that lager is essentially the same as the rest of the ales, just a slightly different brewing process on the back end. So that kind of got me into them a little bit more, and probably kind of into the Czech style pilsners and Czech beers quite a lot, as I've done a bit of content about that as well. I don't think my palate is nuanced enough to pick out that there's any particular difference between this and your average Czech pilsner. Maybe, like I say, when there's Motueka hops in there, maybe accents the citrus a little bit more. As always, I don't claim to be any particular kind of expert on it. But there we go. I'm interested now. I know what the Liverpool score is. Adam Lawn pops in and tells me what I'm doing, showing on the same day as them playing. Oh dear. Oh dear. That's not good. They're winning. Go on, Spurs. Well, there you go. Yeah, what does anybody else think about Pilsners? Yeah or nay? Yeah, there we go. Not a fan of lager in general. Do you like some of the German ones, Augustiner, Helles? Yeah, I think I used to say Helles is probably a more favourite style rather than Pilsner, but then I've drunk a lot of Pilsner in the last few years. I think, if anything, if I'm going German, I'm probably going Weissbier rather than Pilsner or Helles. Although, like, again, all of the German ones pretty much. My palate is quite nuanced enough to tell the difference, so they all taste good as far as I can tell. Bear with me a second. Sorry about that. I need to get a little video in there to play in the middle of those. I think there might be a few of them tonight. There's something I'm trying to pick out in there now, off of that sparkle, and that kind of sort of citrusy notes. It is going more towards lime now than lemon. Yeah, I can't quite pick out the savoury note on that, but there is something in there. It's easy drinking though. I'm smashing that back. Obviously, it's proper cold today, so a nice cold lager after a day's work is good. Keen to see how it goes on the rest of them, what they compare. I'm just trying to pick those notes out, those particular notes out from that sort of, it's crisp, fresh, slight savoury, and a sparkle of lemon. I want to find some other words and adjectives for it. Billy, good evening, sir. Thanks for popping in. Hope you're doing all right. If you've got a beer on, I'm just sitting there smashing some Pilsners because these things amuse me. Well, that one's got down pretty damn swiftly, so let's finish it off. I enjoyed that so much so I didn't even look at all the details, did I? Oh, plenty, yeah. Oh dear, I didn't know I had this for that long. Packaged on the 14th of November, 2023. Best before the 14th of August, 2024. Now, this is what I was saying the other day about lagers, the best before date. Surely they should have a fairly long one, and that doesn't taste like it's been sitting there for 6 months. I don't know. I can't remember when I got it. It must have been early of last year. I picked it up. I think it's possibly my last Lakes Brew Co. one left because in Disco Day last year, I had a West Coast pale ale from them Fire in the Disco. That's why I picked all these up, and they've just sort of sat there, not really sure what to do. But I don't think it suffered for that. Now, 5 months past, nominal best before date. I don't think it would have been any better then. I don't think it's changed a lot. It's all sat there. It's nice. I have Sahi, I guess. Well, it's funny you should say that, Billy, because beer number 2, please. Oh no, hang on a minute. Well, it's pointless now. I forgot to change the banner, didn't I? Beer number 1 was Lakes Brew Co. 4.5% New Zealand Pilsner. Now we can do. It's been one of them shows already. It's only 17 minutes in. Beer number 2, please. And beer number 2 is indeed Dark Revolution, Hotel California. It's a weird name for a beer, especially for. Well, is it? I don't know. Not sure what I'm going to do now. I've got a big glass. I probably got the wrong glass. Anyway, here we go. Let's put this into a glass. Yeah, it's nicely nosed up. It's a big glass. Necessary for a big beer. Probably looks a bit daft there next to that. But it is a Czech style beer glass. And it does kind of show off the beer pretty well. Again, really light, straw coloured. You can just about see the real carbonation racing up the glass on the camera. Looks pretty good from here. Again, I drink out of those regular style glasses for ale or lager because I think it's the best for me for the best beer style. One of those. But every now and again, do something a little bit bigger. Why not? All the beer is the same. Yeah, only beer number 2. I started late. In fact, I started later. Banner and photo, good shout as always. Let me see if I can fit that in actually, because I've just put it in a stupid oversized glass for no apparent reason. It's going to be somewhat difficult to fit. And Dark Revolution, as much as I said, I said the other day, I do like the cans, but they are a bugger to photograph with the shiny on the silver and the kind of shiny black. And now I've put it up in a ridiculously sized glass, so don't know if I'm going to get the light or not. Let's get outside. Let's see if that's going on. No. Hang on a minute. Got to do the thing with there. Hope you don't disappear down a hole in the middle to get that really weird shine off. I'm moving. Yep, that loop we got there. Oh, I've just fucked that up. Right, yes, there we go. Yeah, so Dark Revolution over in Salisbury featured quite a lot of their beers recently, mainly because I got a big order in after Disco Juice, which I had last week. It's a play on their so. I know that's one of their beers. I've not had that one, but Solar is an IPA, and this one is a hopped Pilsner. But why Hotel California? I tried to do that one the other day with Ice Baby, and I couldn't work out how to do the short. It just wouldn't work. Kept dropping on me. But yeah, quite a pale kind of Pilsner on that one. Kind of a little bit hoppier on the nose. Big head dissipated. Cheers, or should I say, I suppose for this glass, Nas Rev, or as they say in New Zealand, cheers, mate. Oppa, greetings, folks popping in. Good to see you. Once again, on Lakes Brew, not found many of those. Really, the ones I had were, have been generally all right. And say like that one was pretty solid despite being 4 months out of date. I haven't sat in my stash for too long. I missed that one about Lakes Brew. Get them in booths. Maybe Waitrose. Wow. Yeah, not down here. And I'm several hundred miles from the nearest booths. Yeah, I don't see a lot of people talking about Lakes Brew Co. They're kind of generally well thought of after their formation when they all got sacked from another brewery during COVID and went and made their own brewery. Yeah, the ones I had were okay. Again, probably guess it depends which one you have and what your flavour style is. To be fair, I say Pilsner's not entirely my thing, but it's getting more likely. And all these craft breweries banging out a decent lager. This one is slightly different again from the Lakes. Much less on the citrus, which suggests probably a different hop lineup, perhaps. Yeah, so I'm most used to Czech Pilsners, bunging a load of SARS hops in your way. I always usually tell people when they say, what's your favourite hop? I always say SARS because it confuses people and they forget about that. It's not, despite a ubiquitous or fairly ubiquitous usage of it, people forget about that because it's predominantly in like a Pilsner lager, but you can use it in other stuff as well. So I think I'm just being thick. My brain ain't working today too well because I've been working far too hard and hasn't got a lot of oxygen at the moment. California is in LA. LA's in. Oh, it's so LA. I see what you mean. Yeah, I see it. Yours is Pride of Ringwood, which is not. That is even more obscure. That is. I mean, I don't profess to know a lot about hops anyway, generally. But yeah, absolutely never heard of that one. But that's a great shout. That's that wins the obscure hop name contest every time. That's a pointless answer. If you see what I mean. I don't watch that show really anymore. Touch much more grapefruit on that now. It's a bit like that one I had the other day, the cold IPA. I found out what that was all about as well. Education of all this. Where's my thing? All right, let's see what we got on a best before end 0125. I mean, I only picked this up back end of last year. It's one of the things, isn't it? You're meant to drink it as soon as you get it. Hotel California small batch series, crisp, light, tropical. Again, cold side Motueka and Nelson, hot side Blanc. It's a different one again. I imagine that's can't be like Sauvignon Blanc, surely. Yeah, I don't know that one. Motueka again. Motueka and Nelson I know pretty well because that's what we have in our well, pale ale, a hazy pale ale up at the brewery. So I'm fairly used to that one, but I always get confused by it. Good stuff with the information on there, even if I don't know much about it. Oh, that's the one I was thinking of. Not Sauvignon Blanc, Hallertau Blanc. But is that not more of a German hop? Although I guess you can grow whatever you like in New Zealand, really. It's pretty good for that kind of thing. Shark, cheers to you. Good evening. Thanks for popping in. I mean, fortunately, all the exercise and energy, I'm pretty knackered today, but it's kind of invigorating. It's kind of definitely, I overuse the word refreshing. I try to stop using the word refreshing in beer reviews, but genuinely, it is pretty. It's kind of juicy for an IPA, for Pilsner. I say that a lot about IPAs and dippers. It's got that kind of slight fruit note going on. I'm often told there's white grape around Nelson and Motueka. I think it's Nelson. I never get that from Nelson particularly. That's why I was thinking of Nelson Sauvignon. That's why I was thinking of Sauvignon Blanc. Getting my wine references mixed up. That's why you get that kind of grape thing from this. There's a little bit of citrus there now. There is slightly more, a little bit of lime. There's a little bit of grapefruit going on. It's kind of like a really pale ale, pale in colour as well as like pale and light on the malt bill. It's all right in a big glass as well. So we're getting great from Nelson. Thought it was just me. Yeah, no, I don't know. It's just sort of. I mean, like I say, I struggle with kind of hops anyway. I'm no expert, and they often end up being some amalgamation of grapefruit. Even Nelson and a Motueka combo always come up a little bit grapefruit for me. There is, like I say, this and that. I tell you what it's like. It's kind of like this. It's kind of like a really, really like if Lilt did like a orange. If Lilt did like a fruit squash, you could dilute with water. I don't say that badly. I mean, it's that very like consistency, like a barley water, like Robinson's barley water. If they did a Lilt flavour version of that, it's got the thickness of the body and a little bit of malt going on. There's not really pineapple in there for Lilt, but it's just sort of going towards that, really. It's nice. Really good sweetness on the back as well. A kind of sort of grapey jam kind of sweetness. So such thing as grape jam, is there? Why not? That would work. Yeah. Good solid beer. Again, Dark Revolution. I think I had, 10 beers from them. All have been solid, really. Plenty of flavours. Decent body on them. Packed. Some good lacing coming on a glass now. A little bit further down. It's quite light, but it's 4.8, so round about right. I always think of Pilsners to be sub 5%. Oh yeah, before I forget, there's some things I wanted to mention because I've seen a few other people talking about them. Couple of little bits of news. I don't tend to do news. I should do news more often, but normally by the time I get to announcing the news, it's old. It's never that new really. First up, none of it good news to be fair. None of it good news. First up, I see the announcement this week about a Swiss cottage pub in London closing down last weekend. I first saw this gentleman, Tweedy Pubs, who I do watch occasionally. There's lots of pub wanderings in London.
Welcome to another Tweedy Pubs video. I was going to be exploring the area around Primrose Hill and Belsize Park today, but given the timing, I felt it was important to make a video just about the old Swiss cottage, or ye old Swiss cottage. As reported in the Camden New Journal last week, the pub is currently in the process of being sold and is due to close on February the 1st, 2025.
So, as I say, a bit late with the news. But yeah, as you see there, from out of the old-fashioned style pub with that Swiss kind of architecture going on. And not only that, it's been there so long, it actually named the area. The tube station is named after the Swiss cottage. And I forgot it was owned by Sam Smiths as well, despite having drunk there a couple of times a while back. But Sam Smith apparently has sold it. But as with Sam Smith, they haven't really bothered telling anybody who they've sold it to and what the plans are for it now. I think there'll be a lot of people in the local area who appreciate the history of it and trying to find out and trying to save it. But so I keep up to date with that one. I did vaguely toy the idea of cycling over there at the weekend, but I was a bit busy at work. It's just a little bit too far for me to do that, really. I have to get a train. So yeah, sad news. Swiss Cottage. I hope they sell it to another pub company who are just going to refurbish it, maybe keep the outside and update it a little bit and keep going. But it's a prime location for flats at the end of the day. Apart from the t-shirt, any other Easter eggs? No, it's just the t-shirts at the moment. Oh, I forgot. There's that t-shirt. I forgot. I could have worn that one, but I forgot it was behind there. Yeah, the old Guinness t-shirt. Picked it up 15 years ago in New Zealand. I don't know if you can quite see it for here. Whereas the lineup of the Guinness pints makes the Kiwi emblem, the New Zealand emblem of the fern. So I forgot about that one. But yeah, nothing else. Well, the only other reason is really the reason why I'm doing it is because Waitangi Day over in New Zealand today, or yesterday as it was there now, celebrating the signing of the Treaty of Waitangi between the Maoris and the British. Politics and colonialism aside, that then gets celebrated as a bank holiday. So that's why I thought, having got these 3 New Zealand beers or New Zealand Pilsners in, albeit British brewed, I thought I'd do the stream today about that. But I'm pleased at least somebody notices or somebody looks for them. Thanks very much indeed. I think you're the only person that knows about them, really. But always appreciate. Galaxy and Nelson. It is Jennings coming back. That's some good news, some good beer news, supposedly. sadly with someone who's ex. Well, I don't know if that's sadly, if they're ex in Bev, that's fair play because they've left. Although if they eschew the marketing strategies and sales strategy of ABB, maybe not so great. But if they've got the recipes for Jennings, it'd be good to see a bit of Sneck Lifter back. Do you remember that one? Which I think was one of the first to go when they got taken over, wasn't it? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, hopefully, like I say, get a bit of Sneck Lifter back and all those local trad beers that were, to be fair, pretty decent. I remember some good nights on Sneck Lifter and some of the others from Jennings, so fair play. So that's good beer news. I've also got more bad beer news with also a bit London centric, I suppose. With a brewery called By the Horns. If how much they got outside of London, because they were kind of Wimbledon way in liquidation this week. Liquidation is a real harsh way of saying it, rather than administration. But since they've gone straight for liquidation, if anybody remembers the logo particularly, founded in 2011, so we're going a fair while. Recently moved out of London to Surrey, a place called Salfords, funnily enough, which is just outside Redhill, south of Gatwick. The owner revealed the two companies we work closely with crashed, Flavorly and Beer Nuts. Now, I didn't know about Flavorly, but they were like another Beer 52, and I think they work quite closely with Beer Nuts to put the snacks into the boxes. So they took them for 50 grand. And then this is a weird one. I heard about this today. Sainsbury's took us off the shelves despite being a top 10 seller because another large beer company wanted double the shelf space. Yeah, I'm guessing. I don't know. You tell me. Who do you think might be clamouring for more shelf space in a supermarket? One of the big beer companies talking about aggressive marketing and stuff like that. I don't know. You tell me. Yeah, Sneck Lifter was good, solid point. So yeah, that's By the Horns. Looking at there was a bit further down that article about there's possibilities of like buying what's left and whether they want to work with the owners. That sounds to me like a prime buyout opportunity for Peters, who are going around snapping up some medium-sized and smaller breweries, having Curious Brew, which picked up Wild Beer. They also own a brewery not too far from down the road called Portobello now, and I think one or two others. However, also another company, another bit of news that I saw just this afternoon about going further north is North Brewing, who I thought was kind of okay. They got bought out by I believe they got bought out by got bought out by Kirkstall. Featured. We talked about it at the time. Again, kind of local, but now they've. I don't know why, whether Kirkstall have sold or some negotiation, but a company called Keystone Brewing Group, who I don't really remember, but I remember the companies that they bought. Oh right, Vertical Drinks, who were something to pleased to pass on the ownership of North to Keystone. That's kind of a weird phrasing. So they haven't sold them. Just I don't know. Can they not can they not make it work either? So they tried somebody else who can have a go. It's kind of a weird way of doing it. But yeah, Keystone recently bought Black Sheep, Purity, Brick, and Brewed by Numbers down here in London. I didn't know they owned Big Drop as well, and they'd sold out. I don't know who Wolfpack are, cider company. And most recently, now this I'd forgotten about, they also picked up Magic Rock and 4 Pure, who were independent again after being bought out by somebody. It's all really complicated in the beer industry, isn't it? So, I mean, that's kind of, you assume it's good news for North to at least keep the brands going. I hate the brand, but there you go. Yeah, so this company now owns North Keystone, Magic Rock, and 4 Pure. The 4 Pure, I think, are still closed, I believe. Yeah, so Keystone Brewing Group, one of several emerging, like I say, kind of brewery groups. Say St. Peter's being the other one, and there's one or two others about as well. Yeah, so that's brew news this week. That should be a little feature on its own, really. I'll try and do some more of that to let people know what's going on in the beer world. What's going on in my world is, right, look at the lacing on the glass now down the bottom on the narrow end. A good solid beer, to be fair, I think, once again. If you swap the colour of your hat and shirt around, you'd look like a pint of beer this evening. I've got yellow t-shirts but no white hats. But yeah, you're right. Again, went down pretty refreshing, solid beer. That it's a little bit of sherbet sparkle there. Best I can do. Bear with me just a second. I'll be right back. Treat this as a commercial break. Talk amongst yourselves. Cheers and enjoy the beer. Welcome back. Thank you very much for bearing with us. The old nasal receptors are going right today, so just get a little bit of cold, I guess. I don't know. Steady on, Dave. Steady on, Dave. So I'm not there yet. Bear with me a second. Could use the Hopper Anthem in your breaks if you wanted to. I can do that. Next time, I'll sort that out next time. It's got to be there. Well, yeah, there we go. I know you featured Wild Horse a fair few, but let's dive straight in to get a beer in a glass. Beer number 3, please. And yeah, beer number 3, as we points out from the little intro there, is from it's a collab. It's from Brewery. Wild Horse collaboration with McColls Brewery up in the northeast, Northumberland, you see. It was, I believe it was something to do with the craft beer channel. And there, I'll read that out in a sec. Let's get it in the glass first of all. As you know, my favourite style of glass. Actually got a McColls glass for this one. Appropriate glassware. Can't have a glassware from every single brewery, so just use my favourite shape of glass, style of glass. Doesn't seem quite so much. Oh no, it's there. Doesn't seem quite so much fizz on the pour. There's this one coming out very similar kind of colours, great head development. Let's dive straight in. As Mr. Seriously reminds us to do the photograph so we don't forget what we're looking at tomorrow. I'll put the reviews up on the old Instagram. Please follow, like, and subscribe and all that jazz. Oh, so nearly, and yet it didn't work. So nearly a one-foot wonder. Actually, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. There you go. Yeah. So, yeah, Wild Horse and McColls, a New Zealand Pilsner. We'll talk it over for 5.4%. As you noticed, going up the ABV, as is my usual favourite methodology when it comes to reviews on live streams. Just because there isn't, just so I can't get any aroma doesn't mean there isn't any. Nice good head development on the glass. Quite bubbly, pillowy head. But it's looking a little bit of lacing on top there already, so looking good. Let's get it in the go. Cheers. Solid. Hoppier again. Different kind of hop layout. Different kind of hop lineup again, I think. Don't know, might be some Motueka in there. It's kind of grassier, kind of more earthy, but without the grapefruit. It's gone again, citrus again, right on the back end. It's different again, feels like a different hop lineup again. Might be Motueka. Let's have a look. One of these days I'll guess right, won't I? Let's go straight in with the talk. Yeah, that's good to talk, isn't it? Right, so what it says on the can, talk it over, is a bright and refreshing NZ Pils, showcasing Pacifica, Motueka, and a dash of German Blanc hops. So actually fairly similar to that one. But Pacifica, again, slightly different hop again. Brewed for Craft Beer Channel's Love and Beer Festival 2024 in collaboration with our new pals McColls Brewery from Evenwood, County Durham. So this is brewed at Wild Horse. Sorry. Inspired by our shared love of easygoing beers for talking over. It also says, I don't know if I should do this or not. My Welsh is not good enough. Ready a fragu in Gysgodion in Minithios ac Awyl I Mwa. Lechida. That's the best I can do. I only know one thing in Welsh properly, and that's that North Wales train station. There you go. Every chance I get to put that in. Yeah, not too much else on there. So yeah, as I say, brewed for the Craft Beer Channel at Wild Horse Brewing in collab with, I think it's where they paired up, a whole bunch of collabs for their craft beer channel in September, I think, of last year. So yeah, package the 2nd of September 24. Therefore, best before end of the 2nd of March 2025. Also, a little message that says "Way I." Plenty of messages on the can as well. So Arlit is the top, and I guess the Welsh version of that maybe is Iwan, 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 Eon, maybe. I don't know. Talk it over. Shamai, which I think is hello, but I always maybe pronounce that wrong and also definitely spell it wrong. Or maybe that's Eon. Anyway, after mangalizing both languages, apologies, both Welsh and Northumbrians, but what we have is perfectly decent New Zealand Pilsner. Yeah, slightly different hop line, definitely more hoppier, the more hoppier end of it. Say lighter on the body though, perhaps a bit more towards that kind of barley squash kind of thing going on. I can see now maybe like a bit more nuance to different kind of hop lineups when you look at them in comparison to each other, which is kind of why I like doing free beers. I don't always do a comparison stream where I look at the same beers. It's fairly rare. I like going up the ABV. I do like doing a similar sort of thing. A little bit more on the lemony side of citrus there, I think. Yeah. So what we shall do on Sunday, probably doing that live stream with Adam and Mersey Beers, I'll probably start, if I can, with a pint of a Czech style Pilsner brewed in the UK. Because I'm still judging it against that, which is probably wrong because you've got this like different hop lineup. So it'll be a SARS hopped Czech style Pilsner brewed in the UK, although that's got stinging nettles in it, so that brings a completely different component to it. But these three beers, definitely after a moderately hard day at work brewing a milk stout, plus all the other things that go with doing a brewery. Building stuff, moving stuff, cleaning stuff. It's a bit plus cycling there and back. I'm fair knackered, so these have kind of been nice and refreshing, jolly good after work kind of slurp, despite the late hour. It's going to lead me nicely into the weekend, off tomorrow, and then slinging beers on Saturday. And although it's my day off, I'll still be in work watching the football and drinking beers, talking about beers, so technically working. I hope everybody else has got a good weekend lined up. Or if you've got to get through Friday first, fair play. Have a good one. But yeah. Oh, well, there you go. You're off deep into wild horse territory, Anglesey. Yeah, man, have a good trip. No doubt pick up a few more beers along the way. I have to get out there at some point. Mate lives in Colwyn, right next to the brewery there, so I've got to pop up, see him for a few slurps. Reasonably decent lacing on that glass as well, developing. Slightly more tropical notes. That's probably the Pacifica, I guess. Again, not a hop I know particularly, but it's a good journey into Antipodean hops. Oh wow, is that this weekend? I was Sheffield on Wednesday for GBBF Winter in Rotherham. Wow, okay. Yeah, man, have a great trip to Yorkshire and have a few good beers, man. In fact, I was looking at, by the way, the beer list for that. And funny enough, a mate of mine at Darts yesterday mentioned it, and I said, "Yeah, I've already seen it." There's two beers. No, it's two drinks on that. One's a cider. There's two disco beers on that list. One's a cider called Hip Hop Disco, which I can't. I did have a look at the cidery concern. Can't find that. And there's another one, Farmyard Brewery. I've got a beer called Discotheque, which I think is I think it's an ESB. Is it best bit on ESB? It's called Discotheque. A little bit of a cheat with the name. But Farmyard Brewery up in Lancashire is one I know I've seen a few times. And I've actually had one of their beers called Hoof Hearted. I think it's just called Hoof now, which is quite a decent beer. Well, that'll be on there as well. It's just called Hoof. But yeah, they've got a beer called Discotheque, and I can't find it. And I've seen it before. But yeah, if you do, that's a little challenge for you. If you want to do disco beers ahead of me, I was jesting with Adam yesterday that he told me about the beer that I got in today from Pretty Decent. It arrived today, the Chipmunk Disco. He told me about 2 hours before I'd ordered it. 2 hours after I'd already ordered it. So you can have that one of me. You can have a Discotheque. You're very welcome. And at some point, I'll buy you a beer back for it. You're a good man. Can always rely on Shark to bring the content down. Yes, you can double fist the discos. A cider and an ESB. I don't think that will side by side that well, but fair play, give it a go. I don't know why the cider's called Hip Hop Disco. It doesn't make any sense apart from Discovery is a type of apple, so it often gets called disco in the cider. Well, I've got two ciders in with disco in the name. I am looking for a third just to do that little disco day cider version. I've got more disco beers to do. I've got the Turning Point ones to get through at some point. I was going to do it tomorrow. I don't think I'll get a chance now. That'll be maybe next week. But yeah. Anyway, so yeah, three fantastic, really solid Pilsners. I've really enjoyed them. Great flavours, different flavours in each one. So it's good to learn about them. And it's always good to have beer and company. So thanks to everybody who's popped in for a beer and a chat and listen to me wanging on for an hour. I'm always pleased when everybody does. The old nose is killing me at the moment, struggling for breath, but the show must go on. So yeah, thanks very much indeed to all of you. Have a great rest of the week. I hopefully will be live on Sunday with Adam at Mersey Beers watching the football. I won't be showing the football, copyright and all that. Don't want to get sued. But we'll be having a little drink along, a little watch along. From 2:30 on Sunday, I'll be at the brewery. So if you got nothing else to do, pop on Adam's channel. Might be over here as well, I think. Dave Wilson, thanks for popping in as always. Shark, Mr. B, Hopper, Beardy, and everybody. And if you're watching after the event, yeah, ESB's for the win apparently. Cheers, man. Cheers, my man. Yeah, if you're watching after the event. After this goes up live, it's all keep it up there. Thanks for popping in after the event as well. Do drop the comments below because the algorithm loves it and makes me look popular and all that sort of jazz. Let us know what you're drinking, or let us know any of your thoughts on Pilsners or any of these three beers that you like. And as always, cheers and enjoy the beers. What a finish. Cheers all. See you next time.